You're watching MITV, McAllen Instructional Television.
Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Jay Gonzalez. I'm Superintendent of Schools for McAllen ISD. On behalf of the district and our Board of Trustees, welcome to DQ Fan Field at McAllen Veterans Memorial Stadium. We wish all those competing and performing the best of luck, and we hope all those in attendance enjoy the competition.
Welcome to the Sideline Pregame show here at Dairy Queen on North 23rd. I'm Jake Berry alongside Mark May. Mark, let's talk about our first game of the week. McAllen Memorial versus PSJA North. It's there's some familiarity in that game.
Indeed there is. Yeah, we've got the protege against his old mentor. We've got Marcus Kaufman, the head coach of PSJA North. He used to be the offensive coordinator for many years under Coach Bill Littleton at McAllen Memorial, but Kaufman's really got the program going now in his third year. PSJA North, a bona fide playoff contender. They're 4-1 in second place in the district, actually ahead of Memorial in the standings. Memorial's 3-2 right now, so will be a great game tonight. It's not a clash of styles like we've seen in the past. It's see whose style can overcome the other, because both of them like to run the football. And when it comes to passing, PSJA North is probably a little more balanced than Memorial is, but both of them prefer to run that football, and we'll see who can assert themselves here tonight.
Yeah, it should be a quick game. On the defensive side of the ball for the Mustangs, who do they have to stop, and then who are they going to rely on?
Well, looking at who they have to stop PSJA North, first it's going to start with the quarterback, Isaiah Rangel. Rangel stands 6'3", so he can see over the line well, and has passed for 1,300 yards and 14 touchdowns this year. He's also their leading rusher, so he's got 865 yards on the ground and another 4 touchdowns there. And they have 3 players, in fact, that they like to go to in the running game, 3 players with over 450 yards rushing this season. So they'll also hand the ball to Isaac Gonzalez. He's only a freshman, but has over 650 yards and 4 scores this year. Arturo Beltran, who is listed as a receiver, will catch the ball just as often as he'll run it. He's got about 450 yards rushing, about 600 yards plus that he's caught receiving, and 19 total touchdowns that he scored. I mean, Campbell Space has scored 22. We think that's an incredible amount. So 19, an awful lot. Beltran, one of the leading scorers in the Valley, in fact. So those are the 3 weapons that PSJA North really relies upon. For McAllen Memorial, we don't talk about the defense all that much. I mean, we talk about the offense so much because they score over 30 points a game, and the defense kind of gets the short end sometimes. But the defense has played really well the last couple of games. Only 13 total points they've allowed in the last 2 games, albeit against the 2 teams at the bottom of the standings, but nevertheless 2 very good outings for them. Axel Hernandez has 4 sacks to lead the team. They have a team total of 13 sacks, and Quade Murray's leading tackler is 66 tackles. Michael Morales with 3 interceptions. Also, Sebastian Turk has really come along on their defensive line. He can play the tackle, he can play the end. He had 2 sacks last week in a big win. So we talked to him earlier this week. Here's Sebastian Turk.
I like that! Let's go!
My name's Sebastian Turk. I wear number 81 for the McAllen Memorial Mustangs, and I play on the D-line.
Guess all 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah! I'm always focused, and I know what I need to do, and I just get it done.
7.5 to go. We're going to toss this to the left side and trying to get outside of the end zone, making it maybe back to the goal line, and then the ball comes loose, and the Mustangs end up with it. So it looked like the Mustangs might possibly have had a safety, but the ball came out, and the Mustangs have recovered. It's 81 Sebastian Turk.
At Kai, I got this really cool fumble recovery where it was the first game where we brought out the turnover chain, and I got to be the first person to wear it. It was pretty cool.
He's going to make it difficult for the defense, for the Bulldogs. First and goal at the 3 mark.
Welcome back to the Sideline Show here at Dairy Queen on North 23rd. Jake Berry, Mark May. Mark, you know, when we talk about McAllen Memorial, they've been clicking the last couple weeks. No more than, you know, we have to look at Campbell Spates for that. Campbell has been lighting it up on the field.
Yeah, and he's coming off his career high just this past week. I mean, the guy who's probably the biggest target in the Valley. You know, all teams know to key on him, and he just continues to improve. He's over 1,300 yards rushing now. His third straight 1,000-yard season. Only a junior. Has 22 touchdowns now this season, including a big kickoff return. Last week, his career best, 310 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns against Juarez Lincoln, a 30-7 Memorial victory. So, Spates continues to shine. The offensive line continues to open big holes for him. Joseph Lada really coming into his own at quarterback. He's had 2+ games now as the starter, has thrown for close to 200 yards. Of course, Memorial doesn't rely on the pass very much, but A.J. Castro has been running the ball well, about 4.5 yards a carry. Ethan Bazan, their main target when they go to the air. In fact, Bazan has caught a touchdown pass in 4 of the last 6 games. So, yeah, Memorial, a team that can light it up. They've been averaging some good numbers this year. In fact, they're averaging almost 31 points a game. So, yeah, we look for a high-scoring game here tonight between Far North and McAllen Memorial.
Yeah, and it should be a quick game too. Both of them like to run the ball. You know, it'll be interesting. This is the first battle between Bill Littleton and his former offensive coordinator, Marcus Kaufman. You know, it'll be interesting to see who wins this game.
Yep, yeah, it certainly will. And PSJA North has really come around. They won the 3 straight games, and they held PSJA Bears, a team that is leading the district, to just 10 points. Lost that game 10-7, but still an impressive outing against the PSJA Bears.
And then beat Mission.
Lit it up and beat Mission. Yeah, so this PSJA North is a pretty strong team. They've proven themselves against some capable opponents, and they have a lot of young players too. I mean, they've got a junior at quarterback, a freshman at running back. Their leading tackler, Seven Sanchez, is only a junior. Seven Sanchez has 10 or more tackles in every game this year. He's had 3 games where he's gotten over 20 tackles. So, I mean, they've got some big players on defense as well. Aaron Alvarez has 14 sacks. They have 34 sacks on the year, which is over 4 a game. So, yeah, this is a strong team, and maybe the strongest team that Memorial has faced all season.
All right, we'll have to see how that goes. We'll see you for the Sideline Postgame Show. For Mark May, I'm Jake Berry. Countdown to kickoff is next.
The Rio Grande Valley is built on a strong foundation of family. We honor that tradition and are proud to announce that Elsa State Bank and Rio Bank are coming together to make a stronger bank for the Valley. Rio Bank, your kind of bank, your kind of banker.
Taking pages from a magazine, been looking for the answer ever since we were 17. Got it all wrong, we just gotta hold on, and on and on and on. Yeah, we're gonna be
And welcome to DQ Fan Field at McAllen Veterans Memorial Stadium. A beautiful sunset in the western horizon. It's So we see the water tower there. That's the Bulldog water tower. You've also got water towers for the Mustangs and Warriors in the good city of McAllen. There's one of the Prancers. They're all decked out here tonight, ready for this exciting football game. The McAllen Memorial Mustangs at home going to take on the PSJA North Raiders. And that's our game for tonight. The Raiders sit in second place in the district. The Mustangs are trailing in a tie for third right now as we scramble. The last 2 weeks of the regular season are here, and the playoff picture beginning to come into focus just a wee little bit. Raiders look to be in good position. The Mustangs trying to fight for a good position. And hello, I'm Mark May with Mario Reyna, and should be a good tilt here tonight. And Mario, what are your keys for tonight?
Well, one of my keys is head coaches, and probably everybody's saying head coaches are always a key to the game, but today it's a special flavor, right? Because you have McAllen Memorial Coach Littleton, who is the mentor, and then you have the student, which is Coach Kaufman from PSJA North. So I want to see how that plays out. You know, they know each other very well, and then you also add the fact that Coach Littleton's son is the defensive coordinator for the Raiders. So that's going to see how it plays out. Also, both teams like to run. We know that. So what team stays on the field more? Who controls the tempo of the game by staying on the field and controlling the clock? And so we're going to look at that. And also the last one, in any game that's so tight, this is a big time. I know PSJ North is already in the playoffs, but this is a big game. It's almost like a playoff. And we need to look at like in any game, the turnovers. What's going to happen with turnovers? Can the teams convert?
Yeah, that's always key in games like this, especially when you expect it to be close. Both teams can score in bunches. They both average in the 30s. And, the head coach connection is kind of interesting because, Marcus Kaufman, the Raiders coach, used to be the offensive coordinator for many years under Coach Littleton at McAllen Memorial, and now he's in his third year as head coach at PSJA North. Well, as we take a look at the starters for McAllen Memorial tonight, they've made only one change since their last home game, as we hear the Raiders' alma mater right now. And it'll be on defense. We'll see that in a moment. But the backs and receivers will have Joseph Latta at quarterback, then Campbell Spates, the district's leading rusher, at running back with A.J. Castro in the backfield. Then the receivers, Ethan Bazan, the leading receiver on the team, Zion Gregory, and David Paz at the tight end spot. And looking at the offensive line that averages about 255 pounds per man, we have at the left tackle Daniel Domian, who's one of the team captains. Another senior is Alex Escobar. They anchor that left side. Then Andrew Ramos in the middle. And on the right, Dago Gutierrez and Taylor Dowd. Dowd coming in at 320 pounds. And we'll take a look at the defense. And on their defensive line, they've got Eddie Ramon and Axel Hernandez. Hernandez, the leading the team with sacks, with 4 sacks. Sebastian Churk, you see there, he was featured on our pregame show. And then at the linebacker spots, we have Cesar Escandame, who's making his first start on defense tonight, and we've seen him shine a little bit on offense. Then in the middle, Christian Sanchez and Michael Morales. And then at the secondary, we have some familiar faces in Michael Pequeño, Michael Lewis, Justin Charis, and Diego Villarreal. So should be pretty good there. So we see that. And we have the Memorial Alma Mater playing right now. National anthem coming up in a moment. We'll take a look at the standings. We'll show you how the district is lining up in District 36A. You see the Mustangs tonight will be wearing their home blue jerseys. Navy blue with the blue pants and the Colombian blue numerals, Colombian blue helmets. And the standings have the PSJA Bears at the very top, still undefeated in district. They're the only team that's clinched a playoff spot at the moment.
And the only loss that PSJA North has in district play was a tight one, a 10-7 loss by PSJA North to PSJA High.
Yeah, and there you see North sitting in second place right now. That first column is the district standings. Those are the numbers that determine who goes to the playoffs. And you can see it's a logjam in third place. La Jolla, Mission, and McAllen Memorial all tied at 3-2. Memorial has beaten Mission, but they've lost to La Jolla. So it may be a positive point situation that it comes down to if there's like a 3-way tie or a 4-way tie. Nicky Rowe is at 2-3. Rowe needs the most help. They need to win their last 2 games most definitely. Mackay and La Jolla Juarez Lincoln are building for next season right now. Still a chance for Memorial and Nicky Rowe to both make it into the playoffs, but the tough part for that, Mario, is they both play each other next week, so at least one of those 2 teams will have to absorb another loss.
Yes, and hopefully by next week we'll know that what's going to happen to the winner of those, will have at least an idea. But I mean, it is 6 teams fighting for 6.
Yes.
Whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched was so gallantly streaming on the rocket's rigor, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And an excellent job by Karina Falcon, who you can see as a cheerleader. She's also an all-district choir member, and a lovely voice she has. There's our JROTC color guard, Laura Reyes, Stephanie Gonzalez, Celine Lopez, and Nayela Alonso, under the direction of Colonel Alfredo Longoria and First Sergeant Roman Rodriguez. So I would love so many different student groups that participate in high school football: the cheerleaders, the dance team, the ROTC, the band, the choir, and a lot of students that are showcased at the football games. And in fact, the student of the week that they'll mention later on in the game tonight will be Zane Sandoval, the defensive tackle. So we take a look at the weather for tonight. It's a beautiful night for football, 68 degrees outside, no wind right now, and it's, of course, overcast skies here in McAllen. Got kind of a reddish hue across the skyline there, as the Mustangs getting ready to come out and play some football. And the Mustangs, winners of 2 in a row, along with Mr. Blizzard, coming out here tonight.
You know, Mr. Blizzard looking better from the first games of the year, Mark. He was struggling a little bit, but I think he got in shape, and he's looking better. He has to represent here on DQ Fanfield.
And you see the Raiders have come out as well. Raiders have won 3 in a row, so both these teams come in on a roll. And the Raiders have been down for a couple of years, the last couple of years in District 31 6A, then the reconfiguration, they moved into District 30 this year. They and the PSJA Bears and both teams have been rock solid in the district here. So we see the band playing the fight song and everybody getting into it here tonight. So we're ready to kick it off.
And Mark, as both head coaches are getting themselves ready, you can't but think about, you know, the relationship that they've had where Coach Littleton, Coach Kaufman, and you know, right now there has to be a lot of emotions because I know Coach Littleton has meant a lot to Coach Kaufman, and Coach Kaufman really respects Coach Littleton. So I know Coach Littleton appreciates everything that Coach Kaufman did. He waited his time. We knew it was sooner or later that he was going to be a head coach, and now he is, and he's doing a good job. So, but once that kickoff goes, Mark, it's competition time, and you try to do the best that you can.
Well, yeah, there we saw Campbell Spates back to receive the kickoffs, averaging close to 40 yards per kickoff return. Of course, that helped by a 95-yard kickoff return for a touchdown earlier this season. And the kickoff would be Jose Alvarez for the Raiders.
And how does it play into the players from Memorials that were coached by Coach Littleton? I'm sure they want to give Coach Kaufman, they want to give him a little surprise today.
Yeah, and that was short. It's picked up at the 35-yard line. Mustangs running that ahead all the way up to the 44-yard line. And it looks like Nick Nelson on the return. Nelson came in averaging about 10 yards a return. Of course, he's usually one of the blockers, but he's had some short kicks that have found his hands this season, including that one, and got it all the way out to the 45. So the Mustangs will have good field position here to start the game.
And on the coin flip, Mark, the McAllen Memorial Mustangs won the flip, and lots of times they defer, but they decided to put their best, their strength of their team, which is their offense, on the field right away.
So Joseph Lotto be under center. Mustangs going left to right. They're going to hand this off. This is Campbell Spates, district's leading rusher on the first carry. Has some good yardage across the 50 into Raider territory at the 47-yard line, a gain of 8.
Nothing fancy. We know what the Mustangs are going to be doing on offense. As you said, Campbell Spates coming in here with 1,327 yards. Every time he touches the ball, he gets 8 yards, Mark, and guess what he did?
Yeah,
Got himself 8 yards.
8 yards, you're right on his average. And 2nd down and 2, they'll toss it to Spates going left, and this time the Raiders ready for it, and they'll hit him for a loss of a yard, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Noah Gonzalez did a good job on the defensive side to fend off the blocker and got to Campbell. You got to get to Campbell before he gets that speed going. Anytime you hit him in the backfield, that's the only way you can stop him.
A tackle on the play on Noah Gonzalez for the Raiders. Raiders defense comes in averaging, giving up 22 points a game. So 3rd down and 3 now. Handoff Spates running straight ahead. And he's going to be very close. From here, it looks like a little bit short. It looks like it'll be 4th and a yard.
And I'm pretty certain that Coach Littleton's going to go for it. As you take a look at the play, trying to find something on the left side. Not much. But a 4th and about a half a yard, you know, Coach Littleton wants to set the stage. You know, anytime you go for it on a 4th down, it's showing your confidence in your offensive line. So let's see if it pays off.
So a lot of under center. 4th and about 3/4 of a yard. They'll toss to Spates right side this time, and he spins his way forward for the 1st down, all the way to the 42-yard line, a gain of 4 on 4th and 1.
Nice blocking on the right side to give Campbell Spates an opportunity to get that 1st down. So that's a big 1st down for the Mustangs.
So the Mustangs will put their tight end on the left side. They've got an I backfield. Spates dotting the I, and they're going to give to Castro this time, his 1st carry. And he gets about 5. He's up to about the 37-yard line. So the Mustang running game is really clicking here early.
Castro came into this game with 200 yards. Every time he touches the ball, he gets you about 4 yards. That time he got more than 4 yards. It's about a 5-yard gain.
So 2nd and 5 now for the Mustangs. Bazan will line up wide to the left side. It's the team's leading receiver. And a lot of under center with the split backfield. They'll give to Castro. Spates the lead block. And Castro fights his way forward for about 2 yards. It'll be 3rd down again.
And you know the last 2 plays, Campbell Spates didn't carry. But he's just as important when he doesn't carry, Mark, because he is such a big decoy. You know that 9 out of the 11 defenders are keying in on Campbell Spates. So you try to use them as a decoy. 3rd and 3. 2 downs to make 3 yards, Mark.
We're at the 34. Raider territory. Going to toss it right to Spates. Dodges one tackler in the backfield, but the Raiders are on top of him. I think the Raiders were reading Spates all along that play, and the tackle made by Albert Elizondo on the defensive line.
And that's what a good scouting report does, Mark. And maybe you don't need that much of a scouting report when you have Marcus Kaufman that knows the Mustang offense.
That was a 3-yard loss.
Good job on defense by Aaron Alvarez, a junior. Well, now, Mark, 4th and 7, he pretty much has to throw the ball, so look out for Ethan Bazan.
So the
or
Mustangs,
maybe Spates coming out.
They're lined up to go for it. 4th down and 7, and a shotgun snap to Lotta. Rolls out to his right, going to pass it, and it's caught. Gregory makes the catch, and that's going to be enough for a 1st down.
And we'll see if this pays off. This is a big play by Gregory as the rollout. Mark, that ball was not easy to catch. Check that replay out. That is a highlight reel. Huge catch by Gregory. If you take a look at the Prancers, they're happy about that catch by Gregory.
10 yards on 4th and 7 as they hand off Spates straight ahead behind the block of Ramos. And Spates with good yardage all the way up to the 20.
You're right. Ramos on the right up the middle, helped out by Alex Escobar. Doing a good job of pushing the defensive line for the Raiders back. Makes it a 2nd and 3.
So 7:03 to play in the first quarter. No score, but the Mustangs driving. Now with a 2nd down and 3, as they're going to pass it this time for the Gregory, and this is too high for him, incomplete, and bring up 3rd down.
And quarterback Joseph Lara has to be careful. A defender from the Raiders, he's kind of reading him, and he's getting on him because he's already on top of him. You see that, Mark? He had to force the ball, and maybe that's why he overthrew. He needs to change the snap count. Look out for a pitch out somewhere, Mark.
Garen X. Garcia was the defending on Gregory. They're going to hand off Castro. Big hole right up the middle. Does a spin move at the 10. 1st down inside the 5 to about the 4-yard line.
And I expected a pitch out on that one to Spates, Mark, but the element of surprise. What a great call by offensive coordinator Thibaut Gonzalez.
That's longest run from scrimmage this season for Castro, 16 yards.
And this is exactly what the Mustangs wanted to do, get themselves a couple of 1st downs.
Marty Alvarado with the tackle. And 1st and goal, they give it to Castro straight ahead over left guard. Gets about 2. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Castro getting a bunch of carries in a row, Mark, and that's something that maybe Coach Thibaut Gonzalez has spotted, that they're really keying in on Campbell Spates.
See Castro on the replay went it straight ahead for 2 yards. A 2nd and goal at the 2 now. Mustangs have had the ball for over 6 minutes. Opening drive, unbalanced line left. They'll toss it right. This is Spates charging hard near the goal line. And it's a signal, touchdown. Touchdown Mustangs.
Hard running by Spates. It didn't look like there was much out there, but that's what a good running back does for you. And that's touchdown number 23 for Campbell Spates. Gives them 146 points for the year.
Oh, beautiful drive. 13 plays, 55 yards.
Perfect drive, Mark.
Here's the extra point try, is up, and it is good. That was Alex Cardenas with the extra point try, and the Mustangs lead it 7-0 with 5:48 to play in the first quarter. Mustang cheerleaders love that. And see, we'll take a look at the replay.
They hit Campbell before he got to the end zone, but he made it happen, Mark.
And a touchdown Mustangs. The Mustangs lead early. We'll be back in a moment. You're watching Football Night in McAllen. And welcome back to DQ Fan Field, and there's a familiar face for all Mustang fans. It's Coach Marcus Kaufman, head coach of the Raiders, former offensive coordinator for Memorial.
It's hard to get used to him in black, Mark.
And here's the kickoff by the Mustangs. As a line drive filled at the 5-yard line. This will run up to the 20, crosses forward across the 25, is hit and gets across the 30 to the 31-yard line. And nice little return there for Marco Salinas, a senior for the Raiders. I think on the tackle was number 8, Christian Sanchez. And Christian Sanchez had been wearing number 19 and switched jerseys tonight. He's wearing number 8. He'll still be the middle linebacker for the Mustangs.
And get ready for quarterback Isaiah Rangel. He's special, Mark. Check out his stats. Look at that.
Yeah, he's not only has he thrown for 14 touchdowns, but he's run for 4 scores and is the team's leading rusher. So you can see him taking off right here on first down, and that's no surprise as the ball comes loose, but I think he was going to be ruled down. Got apparently 1 yard.
Good call there by, I think, the line judge, which is Dennis Cantu, if I'm not mistaken. But we know that the ground cannot cause a fumble. You better get to Isaiah Rangel early. Big guy, 6'3". That's a solo tackle, Mark.
Yeah, that was a good job. Escaname in there on that tackle as well. Isaac Gonzalez is our second leading rusher. Number 21 has 650 yards. He's only a freshman. They're going to hand off now to Arturo Beltran. Beltran, the third leading rusher, doesn't get much here though. The Mustangs ready for it. So several Mustangs get in there, including Christian Sanchez and also Axel Hernandez, the defensive end.
Arturo Beltran, number 3 for the Raiders, is also a heck of a receiver. He's got 33 receptions for 617 yards, so quite a dual threat. So look out for Beltran.
4.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Memorial up 7-0, and the Raiders facing a 3rd and 11 now. So it's a shotgun snap to Runhell, has time, throws it, it's caught near the 40-yard line. This might be just short of the first down.
No,
good open field tackle there by the Mustangs.
I think it's an incomplete pass.
Oh, it's going to be ruled incomplete. Oh, that's even better for the Mustangs.
It is. It's a big break because that would have been real close to the first down marker. The call on that one was by Luben Garcia.
The pass was intended for
great throw. Great throw, Mark. Should have caught that ball.
I guess he had his back to us, but I guess he never was able to get possession. Yeah, you can see the ball come out there at the end. Nick Nelson with the tackle. And here's the first punt of the night. And this will be fielded by Bazan about the 34. Big hole on the right side at the 50. Crosses into Raider territory and goes down at about the 45-yard line. So Ethan Bazan, who came in averaging nearly 8 yards per punt return, really helped his average there on that return.
A good decision by Bazan, Mark, fielding that ball. If he wouldn't have, that ball would have probably kept rolling. Saved the Mustangs maybe 15 yards.
And I think they're going to say that he slipped down, that his knee must have touched, because they're putting the ball back at the 48 in Mustang territory.
Great field position, Mark.
Yeah, still good field position. 4:05 to go in the first quarter. Handoff, Castro off tackle right side. Big hole there at the 40 in Raider territory, and still turning his legs all the way down to the 32.
You know what Tivo Gonzalez is doing, Mark, is that he's still going to give the ball to Castro. If he's going to be getting the yards, he's going to continue to use Campbell Spates as a decoy. And that's a good way to make things happen, Mark.
Well, Castro's 2 longest runs of the season have already come in this game. A 16-yarder and that one a 19-yarder. His longest run this season. Here they're going to give to the hot hand. Castro again fighting his way forward up to the 30-yard line.
And there's a penalty, Mark. I saw it from up here. Great call. Castro was already on the ground, and a defender came and hit him. And he looked like he led with his helmet, too. I don't think he did it on purpose.
After the play, personal foul.
There you go.
On the defense, number 7, a late hit. That'll be half the distance to the goal, automatic, first down.
And that's referee Ford Sasser. We're used to him. He has a bunch of games here on this field every year. Boy, if you want to script a game, this is exactly what Coach Bill Littleton wanted.
And you talked about the importance of the running game. Both teams are very strong running teams, and which one could assert their dominance early. Here's Spates on the toss left, and after a couple of yards, the Raiders bottled that up quickly and hold them to a negligible gain. Noah Gonzalez in there on the tackle.
Tyson Martinez.
Also, Joel Iracheta in there on the tackle. So gain of 2 on the play. And now here they'll give it to Spates again, trying to get outside to the right side. Able to turn the corner at the 10, and then is hit and goes down at about the 7-yard line. A tackle on the play by the Raiders' number 30, Alvarado.
Also helping out, number 11, Marco Salinas. The PSJ North Raider defense has a lot of speed, Mark. You have to remember, we saw the PSJ Bears here, and they have a high-octane offense, and they were able to keep them only to 10 points.
Here's Lotta, going to hand off Castro. Outside left is hit at the 5 and goes forward to about the 4-yard line. Looks like he may have enough for a first down, however.
I think you're right, Mark. That's going to make it a first and goal. So the Mustangs will have 4 opportunities.
Wow.
And the defense for the Raiders, they're on their heels, Mark. Are they going to give the ball to Castro right up the middle, or are they going to go with with Campbell Spates.
Yeah, first and goal right now. Mustangs with 7 first downs. Raiders have none. First and goal from the 4. They'll give it to Spates, hit in the backfield, and he goes down for a loss. A superb tackle by the linebacker, Seven Sanchez.
Seven Sanchez. How
Yep,
about that, Mark?
And his
Seven
name isn't Steven,
wearing
it's seven, and he wears number 7.
How about, I got you. I said that before you did.
Oh, yeah.
Timeout.
So,
Memorial, they're first.
So Memorial's going to take a timeout. And our score is 7-0 Mustangs with 1:32 to play in the first quarter. Mustangs threatening with the second and goal. We'll be back in a moment. You're watching Football Night in McAllen.
At Lone Star National Bank, we are making a difference because we believe prosperity is best measured by the communities we help build and the lives we help change. Lone Star National Bank, proud to be the Valley's bank.
And welcome back to DQ Fan Field. There's a mother and son there having a good time here. The Mustangs leading 7-0.
And she's smiling, Mark, and it's not even the smile cam. How about that?
Mustang fans are always smiling. So second and goal for the Mustangs at the 6-yard line. Come with an unbalanced line to the right. They'll toss it right. This is Spates with a convoy of blockers. Is hit at the 4. Goes forward. Maybe the 2-yard line. Might be just shy of the 2. It'll be third down and goal.
And this has to be the situation where the Mustang offense misses Sean Scugan. The quarterback got injured a couple of games ago, but because of his speed and power, that made it a triple threat.
So yeah, he gave him credit for 4 yards to the 2-yard line. So third and goal from the 2. Spates dotting the I. Unbalanced line right. And they give it to Castro. Hit right at the line of scrimmage. I think he managed a yard. It'll bring up fourth down.
And a huge decision here, Mark, for Coach Littleton.
Mustangs 2 for 2 on fourth down in this game.
And the scoreboard says it's a 3rd and 2, but it's actually a 3rd and a less than 1.
Yeah, 4th and goal from inside the 1. So Lotto will be under center. They'll split up Azan wide to the left. They've got Castro, and as Lotto's going to keep it for a quarterback sneak, he's close. He got hit, did not get much momentum, and this is going to be very close. No signal yet.
Touchdown.
And now a signal, touchdown. Touchdown Mustangs as Joseph Lotta on the quarterback sneak barely gets it across, and the Mustangs lead it 13-0.
And Mark, that was so hard to call that one of the referees had to wait until he actually went in to see where the quarterback landed, Lara. And if he got in, he barely got in, Mark. Big 6 points for the Mustangs.
And Lotta, who just scored, will be the holder. There's the snap. The kick is up and away. And it is good. And Alex Cardenas, is now 2 for 2. And the Mustangs lead it 14-0 early on here. 16 seconds left in the first quarter of play. And it's the Mustangs by 2 touchdowns. Take another look at that touchdown run. This is 4th and goal. You can see Lotta did not get much of a jump, but was able to slice his way in there and find just a seam to get over the goal line for the touchdown. 14-0 Mustangs.
In, Mark. Look how much he's inside.
We'll be back in a moment. And back here on Football Night in McAllen, I'm Mark May with Mario Reyna. Mustangs asserting themselves here early. They take the opening kickoff, go the length of the field for the touchdown, and then force a punt and take that drive into the house for a 14-0 lead here with just a few seconds left here in the first quarter of play. There's the kick by Alex Cardenas all the way to the goal line. This will be run out across the 10, then looking for the right sideline across the 20, has some room there, but then steps out of bounds. That was Marco Salinas with a return that looked promising, but stepped out near the 20-yard line.
Mark, with 9 seconds to go in the first quarter, that's what you talk about, total domination of a quarter. The Mustangs, and it all started by the decision that Coach Bill Littleton did, Mark, on the coin flip. Usually a team wins the coin flip and they like to defer, but the Mustangs, they wanted the ball right away. They took advantage. First drive took about, 6 minutes?
Here's some stats. Memorial with 8 first downs, PSJA North with none. Memorial 82 yards rushing, PSJA North -1. As Rangel is going to keep this himself and run to the left side, and then tries to cut up field and gets about a yard.
On that play, Michael Morales doesn't get credit for the tackle, but he should get credit for doing what he needs to do, Mark, keeping Rangel from running outside the hash marks.
That was the end of the first quarter. Teams will switch ends. We'll be back in a moment. You're watching Football Night in McAllen.
We love a good game, but here at Bogus, we don't believe in games and gimmicks when you're buying your new vehicle. Just real deals, friendly service, and fair prices. It's better at Bogus, in Harlingen, in McAllen, and always at bogusford.com.
And we're back here at DQ Fan Field at McAllen Veterans Memorial Stadium. Beautiful night for football. We are in the penultimate week of the regular season. The Memorial Mustangs leading PSJA North early, 14-0. As we start the second quarter, teams have switched ends, and the Raiders will go from left to right. And right now facing a 2nd down and 9 as Rangel wants to throw for the first time. On the left side, it's incomplete. Running a streak route was number 8, Nathan Salinas, and he was well covered.
Well covered, and Rangel slightly overthrew the ball. But I'm pretty sure the Raider fans are not going to panic, because the offense for the Raiders, they come in here averaging 423 yards per game, Mark. So they can do it mostly, like you said, rushing over 2,000 yards, but they can also throw the ball 1,300 yards. So they can do it either way.
Diego Villarreal on the coverage on that last play. So 3rd down and 9 as Rangel wants to keep this quarterback draw straight ahead, has some room, 1st down and across the 35 to about the 36-yard line. So a 14-yard pickup there on 3rd and long.
Mark, who would call a quarterback draw on a 3rd and long? Well, a coach that knows what he has. Rangel did a good job. It looked like they were going to get him, but he is a quarterback, but he has running back skills.
Brought down by Michael Morales, who's playing linebacker tonight. Morales switches between defensive back and linebacker. Quick pass to the left side is caught. And some yardage as he gets up close to the 44-yard line. That is the Raiders receiver, Rolando Coronado. Michael Lewis got in there on the stop, the safety.
Coronado came into this game with 15 receptions. So far, Beltran has no catches. Arturo Beltran, who came in here with 33 receptions.
So 2nd down and 2. We're going to hand this up straight ahead. And this is the freshman Gonzalez with his first carry, and fights his way up for about a yard.
You got to be very impressed by Gonzalez, Mark. Every time he touches the ball, and it's been coming into this game 65 times, came in here with a 10-yard per carry average. That's amazing for a freshman.
Yeah, usually when you see 10 yards per carry, you'll think, well, okay, he doesn't have very many carries or very many yards, but he's got over 650 yards rushing. I mean, that's amazing to be averaging 10 yards a carry with that many yards. And here's the quarterback keeping it on 3rd down and short. He's going to pick up the 1st down and cross into Mustang territory all the way to the Mustang 47, a gain of 8.
And those are back-to-back very important 1st downs for the Raiders. Of course, they haven't had a lot of opportunities so far with their 2nd possession of the game. But that's exactly what the Raiders need, Mark. A couple of 1st downs and get that ground game going.
So the Raiders beginning to assert their ground game here in the second quarter. They got a 1st and 10. 2 first downs in a row they picked up on this drive as Rangel wants to throw, is looking left, throws toward the left sideline. This is tipped and goes incomplete. Excellent coverage by the Mustangs. Diego Vidal, who's been tested early in this game, intended for Coronado.
If you want to know how defensive back has to demonstrate technique, that was right there by Diego Villarreal, and he almost came up with the interception. That ball wouldn't have been overthrown. I think Diego Villarreal would have ended up with an interception.
Well, Mustangs have generated 13 turnovers this season. 3 down linemen. Axel Hernandez, defensive end, going from a stand-up position as Rangel wants to keep it. And Rangel fights his way up forward for about a yard. And is knocked down by Christian Sanchez. And we'll get 3rd down and long now. Apparently this is not a team afraid to run the football on 3rd and long.
It's a team that's very difficult to defend, Mark, because they like to run, but they're pretty good at passing too.
They'll put 2 receivers right, 1 to the left as Rangel rolls out right, hits the short man, and a big hit there. And that's going to force a 4th down play. Great play there by Michael Pequeño from his corner spot.
No problem there. Michael Pequeño giving up the 3 or 4 yards right in front of him, but a real good open field tackle. But you got to know that Coach Kaufman will be going for it.
So 4th and 4. We don't see the Raiders punter out there. Mustangs have had success on 4th down in this game, 3 for 3. Here's the first time that the Raiders will go for it.
Expect Rangel to do some kind of run.
And 4th and 4, he's looking left. He's going to pass it, and this is caught. The slant route is there. It's Coronado all the way to the Mustang 28-yard line. And wow,
nice
that's
pass.
a call on 4th down.
Yeah, I thought with when you have a quarterback like Rangel, they had success the last time on the 3rd and long with a quarterback kind of draw. But he also has a good arm. Look at this one. Right between the numbers. Big 1st down.
Raiders now 3 for 4 on 3rd down, all on this drive. 1st and 10 at the 29. Rangel will throw left side, and it's picked off by the Mustangs.
Sir.
Diego Vidal read that one all the way, jumped up and picked it off, as just like you prophesized, Mario. Couple plays back that Vidal was reading these plays pretty well, and he read that one beautifully.
He did, Mark, and that's he did the same thing in the other play, except the ball was overthrown, and this time the ball was not overthrown, and he was right there where he needed to be. Big turnover, and let's see if the Mustangs can take advantage of that turnover.
So Vidal intercepted the ball at the 10-yard line. And that stopped a promising Raider drive. They'd picked up 3 first downs, but the Mustangs with 7:53 to go will have a 1st and 10 at their own 10 as they hand off Spates, and Spates with a lot of room running ahead across the 20, 1st down and more all the way up to the 23-yard line, a pickup of 13 yards.
Let's take a look at the interception, Mark. Rangel had plenty of time, but there's nothing you can do. Check that beautiful catch by Villarreal. Mark, what's going on with this Mustang offense? We know they can move the ball, but boy, they look possessed in this 3 possessions now. They are just doing what they have to do.
They're playing some solid football right now. Under 8 minutes to go in the 2nd quarter. They'll give it to Spates on 1st down across the 25 up to about the 27-yard line. And he is brought down by the Raiders' Zeth Arevalo.
And the beauty of getting 1st downs and not throwing the ball and incompletions, Mark, is that the clock keeps running. This has been a fast game. The 1st quarter only lasted like 23 minutes.
Yeah, this is expected to be a quick game. Both of these teams keep it on the ground quite a bit. 2nd down and about 6. And they'll give this to Castro, right side. Castro breaks off one tackler and then spins his way forward up to about the 29. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
You know, that play, Campbell did not carry, Mark, but by him just running to the left side, you can see some defenders that are they just freeze and they take that extra little step to the right side.
Mustangs need about 3.5 yards here on 3rd down. They're 1 for 5 on 3rd down in this game. Nick Nelson going in motion. A line up to the left side. Split backfield. And Lotta wants to throw. Had to hurry his throw, gets it to Spates out of the backfield, and Spates, wide open, is able to pick up the first down. Cross the 35 up to the 38-yard line, a gain of 9 yards.
What a beautiful play by Joseph Lara, the quarterback, Mark. He didn't have much time to think. There was a defender right on him. By the time, he didn't even set his feet, Mark. He threw it backpedaling, and he put it right where he needed to for Campbell's reception.
Seven Sanchez was the man putting the pressure on Lara, and then Garcia made the tackle on Spates. For Spates, only his fifth reception all season. And now Lara, three-step drop is going to get to Spates again on the left side, and Spates runs up to about the 40-yard line, a big gain of 2. And it looked like the Raiders were blitzing on that one.
You can tell there's a lot of focus on Campbell Spates, Mark.
Well, Spates, some amazing yardage this year. We're talking about how he's leading the district with over 1,300 yards coming into tonight. By himself, Campbell Spates has more yards rushing this year than 4 other teams in the district. Just an amazing young man. The junior takes this pitch to the right side on 2nd and 8 and picks up another couple of yards. This will be up to the 43.
Noah Gonzalez again with a beautiful play, Mark. Not only did he make Campbell, he made him run upfield, but he also got the tackle.
Well, 3rd and 5 here for the Mustangs.
4 minutes and about 25 seconds to go, Mark. Wow.
Still a running down for Memorial. Average about 282 yards rushing a game as Lada's going to toss it to Spates, who cuts it up the middle. Is hit at the line of scrimmage, surges forward. Looks like he'll be about a yard short of the first down.
That's going to be close, Mark. He's probably short a little bit.
They're going to be at the Mustang 47-yard line, so a decision here for Coach Littleton.
I think they're going for it, Mark. I think they're going for it. Really, Campbell shouldn't have even made this close, Mark. He should have been tackled for a 3-yard gain. But 4th and 1, another big call by Coach Littleton.
Mustangs in their own end of the field, 4th down and 1. Lada straight ahead and first down.
Andrew Ramos, the center, Mark.
A tackle on the play by Ryan Reyna, linebacker.
Who made that tackle?
Ryan Reyna.
Reyna?
Yeah. One of your relatives?
No, sir.
In the far area?
No, sir.
2-yard pickup there for Lada.
Did you see that block by number 62?
Oh, yes.
Andrew Ramos?
Ramos in fine form tonight. So that was 2 yards on 4th and 1. Mustangs now 4 for 4 on 4th down as Spates trying to go right side. The Raiders read this one very well.
Once again, Noah Gonzalez having a great night. And he better make those tackles because if Campbell Spates gets outside, you know what usually happens.
So, loss of a yard here. They tried to do a little bit of misdirection, but the Raiders weren't buying it. Tackled by Noah Gonzalez.
Also helping out, number 90. We've called his name a couple of times, Aaron Alvarez.
Yeah. Alvarez is a real strong player, defensive end, has 14 sacks this year. And now Lada on 2nd and 11, going to throw it over the middle, caught by Gregory, and he's in stride at the 30, now racing away at the 20, at the 10, and a touchdown. Touchdown Mustangs.
Wow.
52 yards.
Let's not forget that catch that Gregory did early on to keep a drive going, Mark. And that one is all about Joseph Lara. It was a quick 2-step drop, and he just put it right where it needed to be. A timing pattern, Mark.
Wow. Yeah, hit him right in stride. The defender had kind of gone for the deflection, missed the ball, and that allowed Gregory into the open field. Here's the extra point attempt by Cardenas. That is up and good. And he's 3 for 3, and with 2:32 to go before halftime, it's the Mustangs 21 and the Raiders nothing.
Joseph Lada's playing very good at quarterback.
Let's take another look at that touchdown. Oh, we're doing the smile cam right now, and the Mustangs have plenty to smile about. They're happy here with 3 touchdowns here in the first half. It was 14-0 after 1, and they've just now scored here in the second quarter with a 90-yard drive, a 10-play 90 yards.
That's what I was going to say. Wow. They went 90 yards in a hurry, didn't they, Mark? There's somebody not only smiling, also dancing. He was dancing until, hey, there's Mrs. Sandra Martinez. Somebody doing the robot, or what do you call this, Mark?
Don't know.
So quite a surprise right here, Mark. The first, maybe surprise for us, but not for Coach Littleton. But that ground game is one of our keys to the game, but so far it's all been on the Memorial side.
Yeah, that was only Lotta's second touchdown pass of the season. This is beautiful, 52 yards. You can see he hit Gregory perfectly timed, and then Gregory was able to outrace the rest of the secondary for the end zone, a 52-yard completion. And Gregory, just his second catch of the season, but he caught one for 24, and that one went for 52 and a touchdown as the kickoff goes out of the back of the end zone to be a touchback and Raider ball at their own 25-yard line. Well, an astounding turn of events here early. Memorial on top, 21-0. We saw some promise from PSJA North the last time they had it offensively, but Diego Villarreal intercepted the football at the 10, and the Mustangs were able to engineer a 10-play, 90-yard drive.
And here's the big momentum changer also, Mark, at the 7:53 mark. As you take a look at Coach Littleton here in the second quarter, PSJA Raiders were looking good, right? But they had that interception by Villarreal, and the Mustangs capitalized on a 90-yard drive and scored 7 points off of it.
And here's Beltran trying to get outside to the right. Mustangs read it and knock him down. It might even be a loss. Good play by Michael Morales with the textbook tackle. Sebastian Turk, the defensive tackle, also getting in there.
Michael Morales was playing safety, but he was getting in on a lot of tackles, Mark, so Coach Littleton decided to move him in to a linebacker because he was playing like a linebacker even though he was a safety.
Yeah, Morales came into this game third on the team with 55 tackles.
And remember, he's one of those guys that can really hit hard.
Axel Hernandez also getting in on that last tackle. Loss of 4, 2nd and 14 as Ronell wants to throw, steps forward, fires to the left side, and this is incomplete. Beltran was the closest receiver in the area, and defending on the play was Pequeño.
And the Raiders better be careful, Mark, because now it's a third down, and if they have another incompletion, the Mustangs can get the ball back with 1 minute and 30 seconds and 3 timeouts. And the way that offense is clicking on all cylinders, they better be careful. They got to make something happen.
Minute 46 to go in before halftime. So you see the tail end of that play. Also see Michael Lewis, number 12, was down there. So it's third down and long. Third down and 14 yards as Ronell wants to throw toward the left side. 4 receivers in the pattern as it goes incomplete. Intended for Beltran once again.
And guess what, Mark? It's 1 minute and 41 seconds to go on another incompletion. The Mustangs did not need to use timeouts, so they should get decent field position.
You see Justin Chavez there, playing safety here tonight, defending on that play. And so the Raiders forced a punt. Yes, they've thrown 2 incomplete passes. Mustangs didn't have to use any timeouts, and they'll be getting the ball back with probably over 1 minute 30 to go before halftime and probably right around midfield. Here's the punt. Bazan is back to receive, retreats back to his own 42, makes the catch, and works his way up to the 45 in Mustang territory before he goes down with 1:32 to play.
Israel Olivares, good open field tackle. But the Mustangs are looking very good, Mark, at the 45-yard line. And when you have Campbell Spades, 55-yard run is not too difficult for him.
Yeah, and it would be a real killer for the Raiders if the Mustangs could score again here and lead by 4 touchdowns going into the locker room. Scoreboard has the Mustangs for 3 timeouts. I have them for 2 timeouts.
Mark. When you have the momentum,
runs
take
to the right side. And Spates is able to pick up some good blocking there on the right behind Sandoval, behind, Gutierrez and Dowd.
And Mark, I'm going to back you up. I do recall when the Mustangs called a timeout.
Yeah, 6-yard pickup by Spates. Mustangs at 115 yards rushing in this game. It's been Spates and Castro tonight. So 2nd down and 4. Clock is running as Lotta retreats back, wants to throw. And now he looks like he's going to run it, picks up the first down and gets out of bounds. He'll stop the clock. Nice bit of running there by Lotta.
Very
Stops
nice.
the clock with 51 seconds left.
Very nice. What's important about that play, Mark, is that not only he gained about 10 yards, he also went out of bounds. And now the scoreboard says 2 timeouts, Mark, and maybe they're hearing this game.
I guess, yeah, everybody's listening to this game.
With 2 timeouts, Mark, you know that any play is available because you have the timeouts. You can throw a pass up the middle or you can run.
Yeah, 1st and 10 at the Raider 42. And the Raiders will blitz. A lot of 3-step drop throws right side, and that's caught.
No.
It's caught by Bazan.
No, Mark. How was that?
Oh, he had a man draped on him like a blanket, but Bazan maintains his concentration. It'll be 1st and goal at the 10-yard line.
Everything going the Mustang way. Mark, that was over the shoulders. What a tremendous catch. Look at this, Mark. Wow. Right over his helmet, fingertips, and he hung on.
A great catch there by Bazan. And the Mustangs lined up now with 25 seconds left. Give it to Spates straight ahead. Hit at the 5. Still turning down to the 2-yard line.
Timeout time.
And a gain of 8 on the play to bring up 2nd and goal.
Timeout. Memorial, their 2nd timeout.
And Mustangs will stop the clock with 18 seconds left. They use their 2nd timeout and lead 21-0 here in the 2nd quarter. We'll take a quick break. Be back with more in just a moment. You're watching Football Night in McAllen.
I always tell my students I'm a product of McAllen ISD. I always tell them if I made it from being in certain areas and certain schools and I'm successful, they're able to have that success or even reach and do more. So I'm very proud to be born and raised and be a product of McAllen ISD.
And we're back here, 2nd and goal for the Mustangs at the 2. They bring in an extra offensive lineman late. An unbalanced line to the right side, 2nd and goal. Hand off to Spates. Spates trying to get outside. He does and is in for the end zone for the touchdown. Touchdown Mustangs, and can you believe it? They've opened up a 4-touchdown lead here, and it's not even halftime.
I guess we can say that the Mustangs came ready to play.
And 2 brilliant passes on that drive by Lotta. He had a 32-yard pass, or rather one pass, a 32-yarder to Bazan that set him up at the 10, and then Spates carried it to the 2, and then from there Spates carried it into the end zone for the touchdown. And the extra point by Cardenas is up and good, and our score is Mustangs 28, Raiders nothing, with 14 seconds to go before halftime. Let's take another look at the touchdown before we go to break.
Number 24, 152 points. He made a good decision. He faked up the middle, froze the defender, and made it look easy.
We'll be back in a moment. You're watching Football Night in McAllen.
At Rio Bank, our goal is to help you grow and prosper with the right financial tools, quality customer service, and banking done with honesty and integrity. Rio Bank, your kind of bank, your kind of banker.
And welcome back to DQ Fan Field. I'm Mark May with Mario Reyna, and an incredible turn of events here in this game, as we expected a close battle, expected a high-scoring battle, and the Mustangs have been high-scoring, but the Raiders haven't mustered much. It's been all Memorial here through nearly 2 quarters.
Well, one of our keys to the game, Mark, was the running attack, and boy, it's been on one side only.
Alex Cardenas, the red shoes, will kick it off. He's been kicking very well tonight as he does a squib kick here, and this will be touched at about the 17 and picked up there. That's Sanchez with it, and Sanchez up to the 21 before he's pulled down. And the ball may have come out.
I got it.
Players still scrambling for it. Now the officials blow the whistle.
Okay, vice ball.
So it's going to be PSJA North football at about the 21-yard line.
And on that play, let's give credit to the referee in the white hat, Fort Sasser. He turned on his mic and he let everybody know in the stadium what happened.
I was wondering if that was accidental or if he did do that on purpose.
I think it was more accidental.
Look at the time of the Mustang drive. Their first drive took up 6 minutes and 12 seconds. Second drive, 3 minutes, 49 seconds. Third drive, over 5 minutes. And then the fourth drive, when they needed to hurry, they had 1:32 left. They were able to score in 1:18. 8 seconds left here before halftime. Man goes in motion. They're going to hand off to Beltran. Right side, has a lot of space there across the 30 up to about the 32-yard line. Has the first down. And
you
that'll
know,
stop
Mark,
the clock with 3 seconds.
In the last possession that the Raiders had, clock management wasn't really there. Remember those 2 incomplete passes that stopped the clock? You can't back to haunt them because that gave the Mustangs just enough time with their timeouts to score another touchdown.
You are correct. And after the 11-yard pickup, the Raiders elect to let the clock run out. So we're at halftime. And the score is the Mustangs 28, the Raiders nothing. We're going to take a quick break as the Raiders marching band prepares to come out and perform. Then we'll be followed by the Mustang marching band. So enjoy the halftime performances. We'll be back with the second half of action in just a moment. And there we see the turnover chain. Diego Villarreal earning the turnover chain here tonight with the interception as we take a look at some highlights. And boy, there were a lot of them. There's a lot of earlier on. That was on a third down play as they converted on third down and long, and then they got in close and actually had to convert on fourth down 3 different times before they scored that touchdown. That was Spates' first touchdown of the evening. It was 7-0. Then we had this play that was nearly complete for a first down, but was knocked away and became incomplete. See a big hit there by Pequeño. And then right here, I believe this is the interception. That's Villarreal with the interception. Mustangs were up 14-0 at that point, and that would engineer a 90-yard drive capped by, first of all, a couple of nice passes to Campbell Spates. All right, we'll leave you with the rest of these highlights. And we see Gregory going for the 52-yard score right there. Enjoy it here on Football Night in McAllen.
Ladies and gentlemen, entertaining you this evening are McAllen, Texas pride and joy, the award-winning Memorial High School Prancers.
Introducing your 2018-2019 Prancer officers. Junior Second Lieutenant UDA All-American Ana Hernandez. Junior First Lieutenant Destiny Olivares. Junior Captain UDA All-American Ismet Montelongo. Senior Major UDA All-American Hannah Bagstad. Prancers are under the direction of Miss Olympia de Leon and Jimmy Hernandez. Ladies, the field is yours.
Your Prancer of the Week is Genesis Olivares. The Memorial Prancers are under the direction of Miss Olympia de Leon and Mr. Jimmy Hernandez. We would like to take this moment to recognize our 2018-2019 Senior Prancers. Nailin Cantu, a 2-year member. Cassandra Baisan, a 3-year member. Genesis Olivares, a 3-year member. Julissa Vigil, a 4-year member. And Hannah Bagstead, a 4-year member. Tonight, the Prancers will be performing to the Bruno Mars hit, Runaway Baby. Ladies, the field is yours.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Prancers.
This evening, we will take the time to honor and recognize the 2018-2019 Memorial Band Senior Class. These students have given up their time and talents the last 4 years to our band program. Their unselfish sacrifice they have given to the program speaks volumes of their character, dedication, and loyalty to a something greater than themselves. On behalf of the directors, parents, and band members, we thank each of you for your hard work, long hours of rehearsing in the summertime sun, rehearsing indoors during the concert season, and for the great memories you have made with everyone in the program over the last 4 years. We wish all of you the best in your future endeavors. Remember, once a Mustang, always a Mustang. This evening we present you with your senior band jacket as a token of appreciation for your service to the Memorial Band program. And now, the band senior class of 2018-2019.
Adrian Alanis.
Escorted by Nelila Alanis. Jorge Alanis. Escorted by Maria Alanis and Alejandro Alanis. Elizen Cavazos. Escorted by Leonel Cavazos and Susana Mesa. Kathleen Cavazos. Escorted by Mr. and Mrs. Mendoza. Francesca G. Chavez, escorted by Cynthia Chavez and Zoe Chavez. Michael Cisneros, escorted by Mr. and Mrs. Cisneros. Eric J. Cortez Colorado, escorted by Araceli Colorado and Myreme Cortez. Miguel A. Davila, escorted by Celila Martinez and Juan Davila. Luis Dominguez, escorted by Ala Luis Juarez and Sergio Dominguez. Julie Figueroa, escorted by Christy Sanchez. Philip Foley, escorted by Philip and Lisa Foley. Jose J. Garcia, escorted by Maria Garcia. Victor M. Garcia Jr., escorted by Guemencia Garcia. Ashley Gomez, escorted by Elizabeth and Frank Sanchez. J.L. Gomez, escorted by Jose Luis Gomez and Valeria Gomez. Kevin Guerrero, escorted by Rafael Guerrero and Blanca Guerrero. Julissa Gutierrez, escorted by Juanita Gutierrez. Kevin J. Hernandez, escorted by Claudia Tobias and Kevin Hernandez Sr. Courtney Inch, escorted by Dina Inch and Edelberto Hernandez. John Joe, escorted by Chu Su Jo and Ji Young Wang. Arlette Lopez, escorted by Rainita Flores. Christian Matus, escorted by Ana Maria Matus and Melissa Matus. Jorge Medrano, escorted by Jorge Medrano Sr. and Maria C. Martinez. Alfredo Morales, escorted by Yolanda Montoya. Samantha Ochoa, escorted by Antonio Ochoa and San Juanito Ochoa. Anissa Ortega, escorted by Laura Hernandez and Jose Luis Fuentes. Larissa Perez, escorted by Felencio and Irma Perez. Esperanza Ramirez, escorted by Debra Santos. Cassandra Rodriguez, escorted by Maida Plumas and John Rodriguez. Jesus J.J. Sanchez, escorted by Guadalupe Sanchez. Benjamin Sandoval, escorted by Luis Sanchez. Marco Siguero, escorted by Amanda and Rodrigo Siguero. Oswaldo Soria Guero, escorted by Fabiola and Humberto Soria. David Trevino, escorted by Julia Silva, and Juan G. Zamora Jr., escorted by Juan Zamora and Alma Zamora.
You're watching MITV, McAllen Instructional Television.
Presented by Rio Bank, your kind of bank, your kind of bank. Lone Star National Bank, proud to be the Valley's bank. DQ, that's what I like about Texas. Bogus Ford, it's better at bogus. And Performance Therapeutics, physical therapy and sports medicine.
Come back to DQ Fan Field at McAllen Veterans Memorial Stadium. It's 28-0 at halftime with Memorial in front of PSJA North. And there we take a look at the stats, and yes, just like the score, it's all Memorial on the stats as well. First downs, look at that, 15-3. Rushing yards, 132-20. Passing yards, 105-25. Total yardage favors the Mustangs by about 5-1, 237-45. Only one penalty and a very clean first half and a quick first half, and one turnover. That was an interception by the Mustangs, Diego Villarreal. The Mustangs' seventh pick this season, and he got to wear the turnover chain. We got to see that on the sidelines. Villarreal wearing that turnover chain. It became a new tradition this season for the Mustangs. And there we see the Raiders are going to start with the offense here in the second half. Arturo Beltran back to receive. And this will be fielded about the 2-yard line. That's Seven Sanchez with it. Across the 20 is hit at the 25 and then wrestled down. And I think they'll give him forward progress out to about the 26-yard line, and the Raiders will start from there. Well, Mario, what can the Raiders do differently here in this second half?
Well, they just need to get back to their game plan. I mean, things are not working, but it was all about the defense. They have to do a better job because this Memorial offense has played the best that they've played all year. In fact, the whole game plan has been real good on the Memorial side. So this first possession, Mark, is a big possession for Far North to see if they can try to get a little bit of momentum on their side.
And Mustangs going with 2 down linemen. The tackles and the ends are both in a stand-up position like outside linebackers. Say a fake a handoff for Hell will keep it around the left side, and dodges one tackler now into the open field at the 50, now to the 40. He's racing. He's got a couple of blockers at the 10, and he'll go into the end zone, and it's a touchdown for the Raiders.
And that's what you do to get that momentum back into your side, on your side. What a big play to begin the second half, Mark.
Yeah, and I was just about to say I was going to wait till after the first play to give this neat statistic that the Mustangs had only given up 13 points in their last 10 quarters, and now it's still pretty good at 19 points in 10 quarters or 11 quarters now in the third quarter.
But that gives you hope.
Boy,
Mark.
what a run.
That gives you hope right away that, hey, let's get it back and let's do our thing, and if the defense can have a quick stop, you never know.
So they're on to attempt the extra point attempt. Is a left-footed kicker, and it's up and it is good. That was Jose Alvarez with the extra point. A 74-yard run by the quarterback, Isaiah Rangel, his 5th touchdown of the year. And the score now is 28-7. Raiders are on the board after just one play here in the third quarter. You can see almost got him there at the end. That was Pequeño had the last shot, but Rangel gets the Raiders on the board. We're in the third quarter. We'll be back with more Football Night in McAllen. And we're back here at DQ Fan Field. Some kids having a good time here at the stadium. You saw a bunch of little kids get to run across the field. That was the Little Mustangs. So right before the second half kickoff, get to run across the length of the field. Ethan Bazan back to receive for the Mustangs. And we talked about the Raiders. They a very good team coming in, and we finally saw that on that last play.
And be careful here. You never know, Mark.
And they're going to try a pooch kick. It's an onside kick, and the Mustangs are able to field that ball like a short pop up to the shortstop, and they get the ball at the 49-yard line. So good job. I'm sure the Mustang coaches reminded the players of watch out for the onside kick, and they were ready for it. That was Christian Sanchez, a linebacker, who had the sure hands on that one.
And that's why I said look out here, Mark, because you get this, if it was worth the risk, because if you get this onside kick, boy, it puts you in a pretty situation to get back into the game real quick.
At the 49-yard line in Mustang territory, they hand off to Castro, gets it up to midfield.
And you know that the far north Raider defense, you know they got probably a tongue lashing by the defensive coaches at halftime, so they need to try to prove themselves, and we'll see if they made any adjustments.
The Mustang student body having a good time. And now on 2nd down and 9, they'll toss it to Spates, left side, has room into the open field, 1st down and more, and then brought down, a touchdown saving tackle made by Marty Alvarado. Otherwise, Spates would be in the end zone by now.
And I thought Spates was going to take it in, Mark. Give credit to the senior, Marty Alvarado. Open field tackle. He had the angle. Spates found an opening, broke a tackle right there, and just at the time he was really going to get it going, they brought him down.
Spates already with 2 touchdowns in this game. He gets the call here again, and this time fights forward for 1 yard. Noah Gonzalez in there on the tackle, along with 44, Ryan Reyna. Reyna came into this game with 91 tackles.
What's the remedy to get that momentum back on your side and just knock out the wishes or the opportunities for the Raiders is for yourself to get a drive, kill some time, and take control of the game again.
2nd and 9, they'll give it to Castro, and Castro finds some hard sledding as he surges forward for a gain of maybe 2, and it'll be 3rd down and long.
And we know that because the ball is at about the 29-yard line with a 3rd and 8 mark, it's too far for a field goal, too short for a punt. So you're looking at a two down territory.
Actually, they just gave Castro 1 yard, so 3rd down and 8. Now at the 28-yard line, and now we have a flag down. Only our 2nd flag tonight. That's going to be a false start on the part of the Mustangs.
And you know, Mark, this is what makes it difficult.
False start.
You had the momentum
Number
going
72 on the offense.
right before you
5-yard
get
penalty.
to halftime, and then
Still
you have
third
that
down.
long break. Your defense relaxed a little bit, gave up that big run, and now you get a penalty. So the focus might not be as much for the Mustangs as it was when the game started.
So 3rd and 8 now becomes 3rd and 13. We see Coach Marcus Kaufman in his 3rd year as coach of the Raiders. And Latta has a whistle blow just as he went back to pass.
Prior to the snap, false start. Number 17 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
And that's back-to-back penalties. Definitely making it a passing down.
Yeah, Mustangs, no penalties in the first half. Now 2 penalties back-to-back. Like you said, it's become 3rd and 8. It's become 3rd and 18.
And you know, Mark, when it was 3rd and 8, you know it was 2-down territory. You could get 3 or 4 yards and then go for it on 4th down. But now at 3rd and 18, the Mustangs getting themselves in trouble.
And they'll change the formation too. That 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Spates stays in the block as Latta rolls out left and now wants to keep it, throws the stiff arm and gets thrown out of bounds. Defending on the play, J.J. Navarrete. And it'll be 4th down and long.
It'll still be about a 4th and more or less 12 situation. And because the ball's at the 32, there's no way you're going to kick a field goal. And punting the ball doesn't get you much. So let's see if the quarterback Latta will be looking for Ethan Bazan. He hasn't really even been thrown at today.
Well, yeah, they're in that tween area. They're at the 32-yard line, so 4th and 12. They will go for it here as Latta rolls out right out of the gun. Is going to throw the pass. It's caught near the first down. That's Spates with it near the 20-yard line. I think it's going to be just enough. They gave him forward progress to the 20, and Spates on 4th down completes it for 12 yards.
I didn't think that was going to be possible, Mark. Again, Latta on a rollout, making the right decision. And I didn't think he was going to make it because defender number 11, Marco Salinas, did a great job.
Mustangs now 5 for 5 on 4th down in this game. They've converted 4th and 9 and now 4th and 12 as Spates gets the toss, the left side, spins his way forward to the 16 and a gain of 4.
Seven, Sanchez again on the tackle.
Yeah, Sanchez came in with an unbelievable 133 tackles to lead
tough.
this North team. He's had 10 or more tackles in every single game this season.
Yep, he's one of those guys that you know he's probably going to be an all-valley performer.
So 2nd down and 6. They'll give it to Castro. Counter play left side, and Castro upended at the 14. And it'll be 3rd down and 4.
Number 77 for the Raiders, Anthony Sepulveda Jr. Once again, Mark, 3rd and 4 yards to go. We know it's 2-down territory for the Mustangs.
Tyson Martinez also in there on that tackle for the Raiders. Interesting formation here. They got everything to the right side. Only one player to the left of the center. And now the Mustangs call timeout.
Yeah, that clock was winding down, so Coach Littleton didn't want a 3rd and 9.
Play clock getting away from them. And with 7:19 to go here in the 3rd quarter, it's Memorial 28, PSJA North 7. See, the Mustang cheerleaders are happy. I think we're going to be recognizing some kids, National Hispanic Scholars, coming up in just a moment. Be recognized on the track. This is something they've been doing this year, recognizing different groups out there on the field. They've recognized like cross-country teams for Memorial. They've recognized other teams like cross-country for Row, and they're recognizing also the National Commended Scholars, I believe, back in the first half, and they'll be the National Hispanic Scholars from Memorial here in the, there they are, National Hispanic Scholars from Memorial High School. So we're back to action on the field. Third down and 4 for the Mustangs. They decide with a more conventional play here as Lotta looking for the end zone. Nowhere to throw. It's going to tuck it and run it now and gets out of bounds at about the 12. It's going to be about 2 yards shy of the first down.
So get ready.
So we've got an official's timeout right now with 7:11 to go here in the third quarter. And the score is 28-7 Memorial. Memorial threatening again, but facing a fourth down and 1 play. As we take a look at some of Memorial's championships from last year, 2017-18 season. You see football, they were district champions last year for the 4th straight year. They went on to win the by-district championship as well. Had 15 players who made academic all-state in football. Sub-varsity doing really well too. In volleyball, they were by-district champions. Area went to the regional tournament last year. And of course, this year, the Memorial Volleyball has already won the district and the by-district title. And a lot of success all the way through there. Cross-country girls and boys had some all-state qualifiers in basketball. Boys and girls doing well. Wrestling girls and boys. Powerlifting, the girls, they had a state champion. And powerlifting boys, regional and state qualifiers. So a lot of success across the board for McAllen Memorial's athletic department last year, and already a lot of success this year. And a beautiful shot there of downtown McAllen. You can see the Chase Bank Tower there on the right side of your screen.
4th and 1, Mark. This is a huge play, especially for the Raiders.
Yeah, 4th down and 1. They'll give it to Castro. Big hole right side. First down is trying to score at the 5 and fights his way to the 3. Oh, if he could have broken away, he would have gone into the end zone, but still a spirited run by Castro and had to be wrestled down by number 11, Marco Salinas.
Marco Salinas hanging on because Castro refused to go down. Look at this, Mark. It all started with a good open hole to the right created by Dago Gutierrez and Taylor Dowd.
Mustangs are 6 for 6 on 4th down in this game. Amazingly, we're halfway through the third quarter. Mustangs first and goal at the 3. They've got 3 men in the backfield, a power I right, and they toss it to Spates, who gets back to the line of scrimmage.
And guess who's in on the tackle again? 7 Sanchez.
7 Sanchez. You know, he's had 3 games this year where he had 20 or more tackles. And that's just insane. 20 tackles is usually a lifetime achievement. He's already done it 3 times this year. You see on the replay there.
What a combination
7 the first
by
man
7 Sanchez and also Noah Gonzalez.
Power I right, and they give it to Spates again, who goes into the end zone, standing up, touchdown, and the Mustangs extend their lead to 34-7. 2 4th down conversions on that drive, and Spates goes in for his 3rd score tonight, and the Mustangs lead by 4 scores once again.
And that is touchdown number 25 for Campbell Spates. He's got 158 points, Mark.
Extra point is good by Cardenas. He's 5 for 5 in this game, and the Mustangs lead at 35-7 with exactly 6 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Let's take another look at that touchdown. This came on 2nd and goal from the 3.
The right side of the offensive line for the Mustangs. Tyler Dowd again and Dago Gutierrez along with center Andrew Ramos. In fact, let's call out the entire starters, Alex Escobar and Daniel Domian, all doing a great job for the Mustang offensive line. The pitch out.
There we see the touchdown
He
once
almost
again.
went
Spates.
untouched, so that tells you that the offensive line did a great job.
And we'll be back in a moment. You're watching Football Night in McAllen.
Welcome to the What's Better game at Bogus. It doesn't matter how you roll, just pick the wheels that fit your style, new or pre-owned.
And we're back here on Football Night in McAllen. Kickoff gets out only to about the 17-yard line as a late flag comes down.
Nick Nelson in on the tackle.
Yeah, the flag was well after the play as players are already walking off the field. This might be some kind of unsportsmanlike.
I have 2 fouls on the play. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 31. Also unsportsmanlike conduct, number 7. Those fouls will offset. That's the first unsportsmanlike conduct for each player in the contest.
So it means one more like that and you're out of the game. Relatively new rule.
Yeah, and you don't want 7 just to get one because, I mean, he is such a star on defense.
And so the Raiders have it at their own 17-yard line, trailing 35-7. Last time they had it, it was a one-play, 74-yard drive, a run by their quarterback, Isaiah Ronhel, who came in as their leading rusher. And Ronhel's going to call his own number again here. Left side has some blocking as he crosses the 25 up to about the 28-yard line. Looks like enough for a first down. 11-yard pickup.
You know, this offense is almost like the Wildcat offense, except your quarterback is the one getting the snap.
Yeah, and Ronhel, about 960 yards rushing now on the season. Could go over 1,000 yards for the season here tonight. So he picked up 11 yards and a first down at the Raider 28. Ronhel's going to hand this one off. This is to the freshman Gonzalez. And Gonzalez up to about the 30-yard line.
You know, anytime you're a freshman, Mark, and you're playing 6A football, that says a lot.
Mustangs defense, probably their finest effort of the season here tonight. Realize we still have a quarter and a half to go, but played very well so far here this evening. And here's Ronhel back to throw. Could be setting up a screen. He does on the left side, but it's incomplete. Intended for Gonzalez.
And that's a good call, Mark. You know the Mustangs have been aggressive all night long. That play looked like it would have gone at least 10 yards if Ronhel did not put the ball where he needed to. Slightly overthrown. Made it real difficult for Isaac Gonzalez, who, by the way, the freshman.
So third down and 5. Or excuse me, third down and 8. And Ronhel's going to run to the left side. Dodges one tackler. Across the 35 to about the 36. He'll be about 2 yards shy of the first down.
And down 35-7, Mark. I would assume that Coach Kaufman will go for it on a 4th and 2, even though the ball is on their own 36-yard line.
Well, he's had good success with Ronhel running the football here most of the night.
And we expect Ronhel to run the ball again.
And this very gutsy here at your own 36-yard line. But down 35-7, 4th and 2. They'll go for it. Direct snap to Ronhel, who will run forward. Is hit at the line, but the surge, I think, is going to be enough for the first. Got exactly 2 yards.
Ronhel knew exactly what he needed, and his effort and determination got that first down as Sebastian Turk, the junior, 220-pounder.
Yeah, there we see Turk. Turk, who is also all-region in orchestra. He plays the violin.
You know, McAllen ISD has a bunch of kids that are multi-talented.
Handoff to Gonzalez, big hole at the 40. He's still dancing his way forward, close to a first down, and at the 48-yard line, it's going to be about 1 yard short. It'll bring up second down.
You know, you give Gonzalez, he's already a pretty good little running back, Mark. You give him a couple more years, and can you imagine how good he's going to be? Here's a good passing down, a 2nd and 1.
At midfield. 2 receivers to the left as Ronhel's going to run to the left side. Picks up a block as the 50 as the first down at the 45. Now trying to toe the line down the sideline, but finally slips out of bounds in Mustang territory at the 35-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 yards.
And the Raiders have found success running to the left side. The last 5 or 6 plays have been to the left side, and of course on a touchdown by Rangel, it was to the left side.
He had a good block in there by number 70, Rolando Cedillo, the senior. Oh, somebody still got their Halloween mask here on this November the 1st. Of course, it's kind of chilly out there tonight too, so the mask still serves as a face warmer as well as they give it to Gonzalez on first down. He's hit at the line, but gets a forward surge up to about the 32. Gain of 3.
And on the tackle, Eddie Ramon.
And we're down to 2:45 to play in the third quarter. This game going by really fast. Both these teams like to run that football.
Well, that last possession by the Mustangs took out some time off the clock.
Yeah, it was a drive of 5 minutes and 39 seconds as Rangel wants to throw over the middle, and this is caught by Beltran. And Beltran all the way up to the 15-yard line, a gain of 17 on the play.
You can see why Beltran came in here. He runs a real good route. Beltran came into this game. I mean, the passer Beltran, I'm talking about the receiver.
First and 10 at the 15-yard line. Rangel in the gun, has Gonzalez next to him on the left. He'll give it to Gonzalez, who's hit in the backfield and goes down, maybe picks up a yard. First Mustang there was number 18, Eddie Ramon, the defensive end.
You know, Arturo Beltran, Mark, came in with a lot of points into this game.
And it's going to be no gain. So second down and 10. We're in the last 90 seconds of the third quarter. Rangel running to the short side of the field, crosses the 10 and is near a first down. It's near about the 7-yard line he's brought down, so it'll bring up third down and short.
And the Raiders continue to exploit the left side of their offensive line. They are having success. I don't remember the last time they ran to the right side.
Yeah, even that time they ran to the short side of the field, which I thought anytime you try to run to the outside, you try to run to the wide side. But you're right, they are finding some room on that left side no matter what. And now is a flip pass to Beltran, who's going to cut inside and go down to the 6-yard line. Mustangs had read that one pretty well as Michael Morales combines on the tackle with Christian Sanchez.
Michael Morales again in on the tackle. You know, Axel Hernandez is a player that's on the left side of the defensive line. Also in on the tackle, number 8, Christian Sanchez. So fourth and about a half a yard.
Now they're 1 for 1 on fourth down. Rangel's going to be out of the shotgun
Beltran
with
time.
Gonzalez in the backfield. Rangel's going to run this behind Gonzalez's block, cuts inside for the first down, and is then brought down at the 2. It looked like he was going to score, but then ran into somebody who just slammed the door on him, but not before he picked up a first and goal.
And there's the end of the third quarter.
That's
Good
the
run
end
up
of
the
the
middle
third
by
quarter.
Rangel.
And there you see the last play of the third quarter, and after 3, it is the Mustangs 35 and the Raiders 7. So we'll take a break. We'll be back with the fourth quarter. Raiders threatening again when we come back for the fourth quarter play. You're watching Football Night in McAllen.
The performing arts, the visual arts. You can find it all at McAllen ISD.
And welcome back to DQ Fan Field. We're starting the fourth quarter. Each team scored a touchdown in the third quarter, so the Mustangs maintained their 4-touchdown lead. The Raiders threatening here as they've just converted on fourth, now have a first and goal at the 2, and they'll hand it off. And into the end zone is the freshman Isaac Gonzalez for his 5th score of the year, and the Raiders score for the second time tonight. It was an 83-yard drive.
A real good drive.
The only thing is, Mario, it took 6 minutes and 3 seconds off the clock.
And I think Coach Littleton will take that.
So the holder will be Marcos Salinas, the kicker Jose Alvarez, and his kick is up and it is good. And with 11:57 to play here in the game, it's the Mustangs 35 and the Raiders now 14. Let's take another look at that touchdown by the Raiders. Let's take a break. We'll be back with more in a moment.
The Rio Grande Valley is built on a strong foundation of family. We honor that tradition and are proud to announce that Elsa State Bank and Rio Bank are coming together to make a stronger bank for the Valley. Rio Bank, your kind of bank, your kind of banker.
Back here at DQ Fan Field in a terrific night for football. Mustangs on top of the Raiders 35-14. If that score holds, the Mustangs would move into a tie with the Raiders. They'd both be 4-2 in district. However, the Mustangs would have the tiebreak edge, having beaten them head-to-head. That scoring drive for the Raiders, a thing of beauty. It went 83 yards, 14 plays, took 6 minutes, 3 seconds off the clock, but can't afford 6-minute drives when you're down 4 touchdowns.
So if Coach Kaufman did the onside kick last time, you think he'll do it again, Mark?
I would say so, and they do
There it is.
onside kick, and the Mustangs ready for it. And this time fielded it. The first time it was like a pop fly, and this one time it was like a sharp grounder to the third baseman, and nice recovery there by Quade Murray.
That was an unusual setup. Check that out, Mark.
And the Raiders just trying to catch the Mustangs unawares. You saw they immediately broke the huddle and just ran toward the ball and scooted it forward, but Murray there, Johnny on the spot.
It was worth a try, but it gives the Mustang a short field.
You'll see Coach Kaufman, and it's going to be a handoff to Spates, right side. The Raider defense all over that, and they'll get him for a loss back to the 47. Loss of 2 on the play.
Noah Gonzalez again on a tackle. You know, Noah Gonzalez and 7 Salinas, they probably have 15 tackles each tonight.
So 2nd down and 12 now for the Mustangs. We've got a split backfield with Castro and Spades. So give it to Castro. Big hole left side. Breaks a tackle into the open field at the 40. Now still going at the 30. Carrying one man all the way downfield to the 22-yard line. And my goodness, what is in the Wheaties of these Mustangs tonight? And Castro especially has had his best night of the year.
Golly, he refused to go down. Mark, he just kept moving and moving. He's a little 5'8" guy, but a 175-pounder. But what balance, Mark? Check this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 steps, Mark, and he did have 7 Salinas, a good tackler on top of him. 7 Sanchez, so wow.
The Prancers like that play. A big 25-yard run by Castro, his longest play from scrimmage this season. Here's Escaname with his first carry. The stout running back sees a flag go down as he runs for first down yardage up near the 10-yard line, but we'll see what the flag is about. We've also got an official's timeout.
We have a timeout on the field for an injury.
So Escaname, who started at linebacker tonight, saw his first carry. So we've got the official's timeout. We'll see what the flag was about.
During the play, we had a personal foul, face mask, number 44 on the defense. The penalty is half the distance to the goal. It's an automatic first down.
You know, that voice of that official there, Mark, sounds like the voice that comes out on one of our commercials from Rio
Set
Bank.
the play clock at 40 seconds.
No.
Mr. Ford Sasser, our referee tonight, as we see some more accolades from McAllen Memorial. And this was, again, from the 2017-18 season or school year. And you see the soccer girls were bi-district champions last year. In softball, they advanced to the playoffs. And track girls, a lot of success, including some state qualifiers. And track boys, they had state qualifiers. And girls golf, they went to the regionals. And boys golf really well last year, going all the way to state. And swimming girls and boys, again, state qualifiers just across the board, diving state qualifiers. And then team tennis, they were district champions and advanced to the playoffs. And some regional qualifiers in individual tennis, and even in cheerleading a great year under Coach Pedro Ramirez. They won the UIL state championship last year at McAllen Memorial. I remember when they came home on the bus and they had a bunch of, it was a Sunday, but they had a ton of students there at the school ready to meet them and greet them back from the competition. I think it was in Dallas. And a great job by the cheerleaders last year and all of the Mustang athletics. As here on 1st and goal from the 6, here's a handoff to Castro, who goes into the end zone for an apparent touchdown, but a flag was up, and I think the officials had blown the play dead early.
Yep, false start.
False start, number 76 on the offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
You know, Mark, on those 2 slides where you were putting all these championships by the Mustangs, it's incredible the amount of championships, and you don't even have space on enough space on that slides. And then it's not only in one sport, it was about 10, 11 different sports.
On 1st and goal from the 11, handoff to Castro. Castro will go surge up to about the 8-yard line and it'll bring up 2nd down and goal. Mustangs over 200 yards rushing tonight, here with 10 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. So they had Escaname carried it for 10 yards to the 11. They had a penalty, which was a half the distance. They moved it up to the 6. And then they had the 5-yard penalty, and now they've got 3 of those back. So they've got 2nd and goal from the 8. And of course the Mustangs gone for it on 4th down a bunch tonight. In fact, they haven't punted all night. So I imagine this would be 4 down territory as well, as Lotta rolls out, has to throw on the run, and hits Bazan for the touchdown. They don't need 4th down on this drive, as Lotta throws his 2nd touchdown pass of the night, and Ethan Bazan has his 5th touchdown catch in his last 7 games.
He had been real quiet. He was due, and he found a touchdown.
Yeah, Murray the snap, Lotta the hold, and Cardenas' kick is good. And he is 6 for 6 this evening, and the Mustangs now lead it by a score of 42-14. 9:31 to play here in the ball game. This Mustang offense has been a juggernaut. As we take a look at the replay, and Lotta was under pressure and still got the ball accurately to Bazan on his out route near the goal line and completed an 8-yard touchdown pass for the score.
Lotta has
Bazan with
done
his
that,
6th
Mark.
touchdown of the year.
That's not the first pass where Lotta was under pressure and he made the completion. What do we got here?
Now we got the smile cam and the perfect time for it, as the Mustangs have 42 points on the board. Mustang fans with a lot to smile about here tonight. We got a shy Mustang there. There's some excited Mustangs.
There you go. That's what you got to have out there, a lot of rhythm.
A lot of spirit out there tonight. A little bit chilly. It's kind of our first chilly weather we've had for a football game this year. The students are happy.
Well, the camera angles get you even when you're way up there in the nosebleed section.
And there's the kickoff. And this is Cardenas' kick, and there's going to be a reverse to Beltran on the right side at the 20. Now at the 30, has a lot of room there at the 40, but steps out of bounds. Had some blockers over on that side too. Good call there by the Raiders, well executed, and they get a big return. By the way, that Mustang scoring drive, 51 yards in 5 plays.
You know, and the Mustang defense hasn't done a bad job, for the exception of that long run to start off the second half by Rangel. And the other thing, Mark, is that there's not a lot of players for the Mustangs going both ways in this game.
And the Raiders at their 42-yard line going to go play action. A pass to the left side is incomplete. It's intended for Coronado, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
And that ball should have been intercepted. I can guarantee you that if Diego Villarreal had another opportunity, he would have gotten that interception.
By the way, Bazan, who caught that touchdown pass a moment ago for the Mustangs, that was his 6th touchdown catch of the year and his 5th in the last 7 games. And he had a great catch in the second quarter that helped set up another touchdown as we see a fake, and this is lateral to the left. They're going to call it incomplete pass. Very close to a lateral intended for Jonathan Garza, but it'll bring up 3rd down and 10. Raiders passing tonight. They've completed 5 passes for 43 yards. So here on 3rd down and 10, Rangel's going to keep it himself, cuts up the middle, and gets across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. Bring out 4th down.
And pretty much a 4th and about 6. And with the Raiders down 42-14, you know they're going to go for it.
Here's a look at that replay. See, Rangel initially wanted to go outside left and cut it up the middle. Christian Sanchez in on that tackle. 8:40 to go is on 4th down. They're going to throw this, a pass. It's caught, and it looks like it'll be short of the 1st down, or no, it might be just enough. We'll see if they give him forward progress, and I think that's going to be enough for a 1st down. That was a catch by Nathan Salinas.
Just enough for a 1st down. Keep the drive alive. Do you know the schedules for the upcoming games, Mark? There's only one more district game. We know Memorial will be playing against Nicky Road. Do you know who Far North is playing against?
Yes, I do. And as Rangel on 1st and 10 will roll out to his right side, being chased by Hernandez, is going to fire this to the right side, where it's caught by the Raiders. And they'll have a 1st down about the 32-yard line. That's Jonathan Garza with the catch.
And another impressive throw by Rangel on the run.
So
hey, Mark, today
for the Raiders.
We started the day off at the Partners in Excellence Banquet. Wasn't that a great event this morning?
Oh, yeah, indeed.
I think Dr. Gonzalez is here, our superintendent, to maybe tell us a little bit about it.
We'll talk to him about that in just a moment. As we see another pass to the right side, and this is caught, and it'll be up to the 19-yard line. So the Raiders' passing game be beginning to click now as a catch by Israel Olivares. And that moves it up 13 yards. And another Raider 1st down. See the Prancers, and with us is our superintendent, Dr. Jay Gonzalez here. And Dr. Gonzalez, good to see you. How are you enjoying this game?
It is a great game, great football weather. It's an awesome night.
And here's Rangel's going to keep it himself, dances his way forward, is up near the 10-yard line. Might have another 1st down. He's going to be close at around the 10-yard line. We'll see where they spot this as Mustangs Quade Murray in there on the tackle along with Christian Sanchez. And Dr. Gonzalez, you know, you heard Mario Reyna mention just a moment ago, there was a big event this morning, the annual Partners in Excellence Breakfast. Tell us a little bit how that went.
Yeah, it was real nice to be at the Partners in Excellence Banquet with all of our business partners at the Country Club this morning. Great event, one of my favorites, where the community comes together and everybody has a common vision for helping our students out. So it was a packed house. It was a lot of positive energy in the room, and we greatly appreciate everything that the City of McAllen and our business partners do for us.
We saw Michael Pequeño get a hand in there and knock that ball away to save a touchdown. We'll take a look at the replay here. See Pequeño reaching in there to prevent what might have been a touchdown, so to bring up 3rd down and short now for the Raiders. And a wonderful thing, and I love the message that that the whole community is what leads to the success of our children in our community. We have the business community, we have the parents, and everything else, all the stakeholders, as we see Rangel run up to the 5-yard line. And tell us a little bit about the importance of that kind of synergy.
Well, anytime you're running an organization this big, you're looking at 3,500 employees, over 22,000 students. It's a large city. it takes everybody, and the fact that McAllen ISD is performing at such a high level to earn an A, to earn the post-secondary readiness distinction, to be doing so well on the financial side with the financial integrity rating system of Texas. There's no way that one person or one entity can do it. It takes the entire city, and we have great people in our city, and our parents step up and do a tremendous job for us, and our students work hard, and our staff. It's just it's a very, very special time in McAllen, Texas, and a very special time in McAllen ISD, and it's a beautiful thing to see everybody working together.
And tomorrow we've got something in a way kind of similar that also involves the business community. We've got the Minitropolis at Houstonville, and I'll ask you more about that in just a moment as we see Isaac Gonzalez go in for a 3-yard touchdown, and the Raiders score once again and cut the lead to 42-20 with 5:31 to go in the game. And Raiders still keeping in it here. Tell us a little bit about the, first, if you could explain maybe the Minitropolis concept that they have at Houston Elementary and some of our other schools.
The Minitropolis is a micro society. It's essentially a little city within our elementary schools, and it's very unique and neat to see because you come into these elementary schools and they have a city council, they have a mayor, they have a police department, a fire department. They have
and
a
these
bank.
are the kids,
yes,
right?
Yeah, they're running a little city. So I have opportunities to meet with the mayors, and I have opportunities to meet with different business owners. So kids are learning about how to balance checkbooks and how to make a profit, and how to even as far as understanding the IRS and getting taxed. So it's a tremendous program that's teaching our kids a lot about numeracy and literacy, and it's one of our powerhouse programs.
Well, and I want to ask you about how the business community factors into that in just a moment. We got a touchdown scored by the Raiders, so we'll take a quick break. It's 42-21. We'll continue with Football Night in McAllen right after this.
Don't miss out. Make sure you follow McAllen ISD on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel. It is the best and quickest way to catch important information about McAllen ISD schools. Plus, you can see the latest videos. So get in touch with McAllen ISD.
And back here at DQ Fan Field, we see one fan there still has making good use of his Halloween mask there to keep warm. Here on this night, the first night we've had kind of what they call football weather. The first time. South Texas, it comes kind of toward the end of the year, football weather. And here's the kickoff. We saw Campbell Spates back there to receive, but he won't have a chance on this one. It's a onside kick that will go out of bounds, so the Mustangs will keep possession. And Dr. Gonzalez, we were talking a little bit about the Minitropolis concept that they have at Houston Elementary.
Out of bounds by the kicking team. The ball will be 5 yards in front of the out of bounds spot. Be first down, Memorial.
Here, Mr. Sasser give us the explanation, and the business community has a big integral role in that. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, businesses come in and they tell us in the ins and outs of how their programs run, and it really helps our internal businesses understand how they look at their profit margins, how they, in the end, run their business. So, for example, we'll have an HEB at one of our Minitropolis, and there's a manager within that HEB, or we'll have a Costco, or we'll have a Home Depot, and there's different businesses that literally use the same business model that the actual businesses in our cities are using. So that's what makes it so special and so real. And I've talked to kids that are now in high school, and they tell me that they were at Sam Houston, for example. I've talked to some kids at Memorial recently, and they were part of the Minitropolis, and they talk about how it helped them and how they learned so much at that age, and the things that they learned them are helping them in life, and that's what makes it so special.
Yeah, I know personal finance is a big part of that, learning how to manage a budget. And we're learning this at 8-10 years old.
Yeah, I mean, you think back to when we were in school, and you get out and you get your first job and you get taxed, and you have to pay taxes, and it's really this foreign concept of not really understanding that there's money that's going to go out of your check to pay different things. So these kids are already understanding that concept and understanding how the IRS works and understanding how banking works And this is an elementary school. I mean, I didn't learn those kind of things till I went off to college.
Yeah, most of us, as adults. And you know, I loved a part. We were there the other day making a video that'll be coming out soon to feature Houston Elementary, and they were talking about how the first graders, or a first grader was telling us about how she had to fill out a job application. And they have the kid. They don't just assign the kids to certain roles. They have them fill out applications and go through the interview process. I mean, it's like you said. I mean, they are learning adult skills and adult experiences.
Yes.
It's an incomplete pass by Lotta there. He's completed 7 of 9. That's just his second incompletion this game tonight. He's had a brilliant game, throwing for 125 yards and 2 touchdowns tonight to Gregory and Bazan, but right now at 4th and 7 for the Mustangs. And Dr. Gonzalez, anything else coming up? We got the rest of November and December. They're closing in on the end of the first semester, and what are some of the other things going on?
I mean, we're looking at forward to finishing off the semester strong. We're looking at our benchmark scores and making some adjustments from a curriculum standpoint, and so far our scores are coming in strong. We're on pace to do very well as a district once again. Looking forward to the Thanksgiving break and letting families go out and get together and charge their batteries up. So it's really just a matter of finishing off the semester strong, continue with our robotics and chess and UI academics and everything that goes into preparing for the school year is off to a great start. So we're excited about that and really excited about the game tonight as well. I mean, to see the Mustangs playing well. And one of the things I was just thinking about as I was looking across the field is how this is such a unique experience here, because you have Coach Littleton, who coached with Coach Kaufman for 17 years, and then you have Bill Littleton's son on the other side, who is the defensive coordinator, playing against his father. So you see this whole dynamic going on, and regardless of what the score looked like, it's just such a unique experience tonight. So that's another thing I was thinking about.
And I guess there we see Coach Kaufman there on the right side of your screen without the headsets. And I guess maybe the theme tonight might be Father Knows Best. Is Coach Littleton doing pretty well?
I'd have to say that fathers usually do know best.
And we want to, let's see if we can have one more shot here in the booth, because I want to show somebody else, one of our students here. And this little guy right here, this is one of our kids in McAllen ISD. And who is this one?
This is Joe Douglas. He's a first grader at Gonzales Elementary. And I also have a pre-K student. His name's Joshua. And a kindergarten student. Her name's Samantha Isabella. But Joe Douglas had a football game tonight, a flag football game with the Boys and Girls Club. And he also spent about an hour playing in our little kids field off to the south over here. So he had a good time out there with his friends. So it's a family event at DQ Fan Field at McAllen Veterans Memorial Stadium.
It's nice to have that kind of energy too. 2 football games in one day.
Yeah,
I couldn't manage one.
Tonight.
All right, yeah, he'll get some sleep early tonight, and then after Friday, I know you'll be looking forward to the weekend, Joe. So good to see you up here in the booth. Are you looking at yourself there on the monitor? It's pretty cool, right? Now that's on the World Wide Web. Everybody in the world can see that. Did you wave to him?
So all right. Thanks a lot, Mark. I appreciate you. And you did a great job this morning at the Partners of Excellence event. I appreciate your help.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Gonzalez. Yeah. Appreciate it very much.
Right. Thanks, Coach.
And we'll let you go.
Yes. Thank you.
All right. And we'll probably see you at the Minitropolis event tomorrow with Houston Elementary. You saw a big completion there for the Raiders. That came on after 2 plays of nothing. They were 3rd down and 10, and they complete a long pass of 39 yards to Rolando Coronado. And look at that. He was able to get open beyond the secondary and get into Mustang territory at the 40-yard line. And here's Rangel back to throw on 1st and 10. And this pass is picked off. That's Michael Morales with his 4th pick of the year. And the Mustangs will take over from there with just under 3 minutes to play in the game. And that should just about do it. Yeah, he'll get the turnover chain. Diego Vidal and Michael Morales earning the turnover chain honors tonight. I'm sorry? Yeah, I got some bling there, as Castro will get the handoff, and he's got a big yardage of 1st down all the way up across the 35 to the 36-yard line.
Castro definitely making a big difference in this game with a lot of yards, Mark. Here's a replay. Good hands.
Yeah,
and
looked
he
like Morales
just slipped.
sitting back there in his zone. Looks like the pass was intended for Beltran.
he's happy he caught the touchdown, but unhappy that he slipped. But I know he was looking forward to going to get that turnover chain.
Yeah, had some room in front of him where he could have had a big return. I think that's what he saw. And there's Morales there with the turnover chain. And the Mustangs looking really good, firing on all cylinders tonight as Castro into the open field. Second play in a row, and this goes for another first down all the way up to the 47-yard line. And the Mustangs can pretty much kill the clock with this new set of downs.
Did you see, Mark, the balance by Castro? I mean, he slipped and he was going down, and he was able to maintain his balance. Check it out right here, Mark.
You see Taylor Dowd throwing a block there at the end for him. Escaname also leading block. And the ball first and 10, Mustangs at their 46, where the clock is running at a minute and a half to go. North has all three of their timeouts remaining, but probably will not use them. The Mustangs just need to snap it 3 more times. They're going to hand this off, it looks like Escaname, up to the 49 for a gain of about 3. And they'll just need to snap it 2 more times.
And you know, we know that Coach Bill Littleton is going to be extremely happy with this big victory. But on the other side, he knows that his son is going to have to try to work that defense on that Raiders side, because they didn't do so well tonight. So it's a win, but also on the family side, it's just a little disappointment, and also that his Coach Kaufman taking probably the biggest loss of the year.
Yeah, for the Raiders, they started off kind of slow this year. They were 2-3 at one point, but then won 3 in a row to improve to 5-3 and 4-1 in the district, and they'll fall to 4-2. The loss here tonight, they'll still be in good position as far as playoffs go.
That's the last play of the game, Mark.
And the Memorial Mustangs will also improve to 4-2, and they'll, because of the tiebreaker, they'll be actually 1 spot ahead of the Raiders. As we can see the clock winding down, the Mustangs don't need to snap it again. And Mario, you were asking who they play next week. The Mustangs will be at Nicky Rowe. That'll be right here, of course, and we'll have that game for you. PSJA North Raiders will be at home next week against the Mackay Bulldogs. And the next game we have for you, our next webcast, is tomorrow night. Friday night football will be La Jolla Juarez Lincoln against the McAllen Bulldogs. 7:30 kickoff will be on the air at about 7:10. And that'll be right here at DQ Fan Field. So if you're in the area, welcome to come over. Our senior citizens get in free. They also get a free popcorn and a drink. So senior citizens, just come on down tomorrow night and see some football. Juarez Lincoln against Mackay tomorrow night, and we'll have that game for you. Jake Berry's coming up with the post-game show in just a moment. Final score is Memorial 42 and PSJA North 21. PSJA North was shut out at halftime. They got 7 in the third quarter and 14 in the fourth quarter. And the Mustangs with 28 points in the first half and then 14 in the second half to win this game 42-21. And taking a look at some final numbers, Memorial with 242 yards rushing tonight, 125 passing. There we see Campbell Spates had a big night. That was a big run of about 20 yards right there. A.J. Castro with some big runs here tonight as well. Again, Mustangs are 242 yards rushing, that 125 passing. Lotta tonight completed 7 of 9 passes and 2 touchdown passes. One was a 52-yarder to Zion Gregory and an 8-yarder to Ethan Bazan. Gregory's first TD of the year, Bazan his 6th TD of the year. Lotta would also carry one in. He would sneak one in for a touchdown. So he had 2 passes and a quarterback sneak here tonight. Trevor Spates with 3 touchdowns. And Spates now with 7 touchdowns in his last 2 games and has 25 touchdowns for the season. Mustangs with a lot of first downs as well. They had a lot of lengthy drives. Classic Mustang football here tonight. They had 24 first downs compared to 13 first downs for PSJA North. For the Raiders, they had 180 yards on the ground, 117 through the air. They completed 9 of 20 passes. And there were 2 turnovers, both of them produced by the Mustangs, interceptions by Diego Vidal and Michael Morales. But the touchdowns for PSJA North, their freshman Isaac Gonzalez had 2 touchdown runs, and the quarterback Isaiah Rangel had a big touchdown run of 74 yards. and the Raiders had their 21 points. But Memorial jumped out early. They were up 28-0 at halftime, and then both teams exchanged touchdowns in the second half. It was 3 for Far North, 2 for Memorial, and the Mustangs win it by a score of 42-21. And like I said, in the standings, the Mustangs improved to 5-4 overall. They're 4-2 in district. They won their third in a row. PSJA North has their 3-game win streak snapped, and they fall to 5-4 overall and 4-2 in the district. And next week, PSJA North will finish up the regular season against Mac High. That'll be a Thursday night game in Far. And then the McAllen Memorial Mustangs will be here at this stadium, but they'll be the visiting team. They'll be taking on Nicky Rowe in a game that also decides the Mythical City Championship. So the City Championship will be on the line next week as Nicky Rowe and Memorial will tangle. And Nicky Rowe playing tomorrow night. Nicky Rowe will play on the road at La Jolla. And Nicky Rowe at 2-3 in the district will need to get a win there. So I wish them good luck. And our next broadcast will be the Mac High Bulldogs here tomorrow night. Now let's go to Jake Berry on the field for our post-game show. Jake?
Joe, I'm on the field right now with the victorious Bill Littleton McAllen Memorial Mustangs. Coach, you had probably one of the cleanest halves I've seen in the first half, 28-0. You come out of this game victorious, but how do you think you rate where your team's at right now, how they played tonight?
Well, I think we just, we're looking really good tonight. We played really good on all three phases of football. We just keep getting better and better and better. I felt like the last couple of weeks we were coming together chemistry-wise and just getting better. And I think it was evident tonight that our chemistry was good, our want-to was good, our effort was good, and the kids performed unbelievable tonight. Great job. Can't say enough about them.
Now, we talked about in the loss versus PSJA, you guys played really well, but, you fell short in that one, and you thought that was one of your better games of the season. How do you rate this one?
Well, I think by far our best game of the season. I think we played, probably one of the better teams in the district, no doubt about it. And our kids rose to the occasion. I think we showed what kind of ability we have when we all play together, and we're all on the same page, and we all want the same thing. And that's what happened tonight. We had unity tonight, and we played great tonight.
You guys played superb. Good luck next week against Nicky Rowe. All right, we're down here. Talk to me tonight. You're wearing the M. Your defense, first half, you guys came up with picks, big stops. Second half, picks. How did you guys play tonight? How do you think you played?
I think the team did really well. We've still got a lot to prove on, but all around we did a great job. And I think we've progressed over the season. We've done a heck of a job better than we were at the start of the season. So we're progressing, and that's what we want to do.
How did you, each game really mattered down the stretch. I mean, this game, next week against Nicky Rowe, how did you guys prepare yourselves for these games?
Yeah, the coaches do a great job preparing us week in and week out. We're always running through film. The guys are always together after practice, and during practice it's just always intense, and we're always working because we know that every week is an important week.
How long do you get to keep this M?
I hope as long as I can tonight. I don't want to take this one off.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right, McAllen Memorial victorious tonight versus PSJA North. They'll play Nicky Rowe next week here at McAllen Veteran Memorial Stadium, DQ Field. For everyone at MITV, I'm Jake Berry. We'll see you next week.